Brian, let's go to you. So Zaxxas is not a trading desk, we know that. You are more of a product company. You're not a service. I see these guys as operating service offerings, and you've developed a product. Yes?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at a media plan that comes out of one of our partner agencies, you don't see Zaxxas as a line with a number next to it. You see Zaxxas TV or Socialite or Zaxxas Mobile or.
But those are packaged media offerings.
They're
right?
packaged media offerings.
It's an
so
audience.
we're not trying to be. We're not trying to be a service company. Each of the agencies is developing their own programmatic buying unit, and we're helping them do that. But Zaxxas, we were never a trade desk. I would say in the beginning, when we founded the company 3 years ago, we did a lot of business that was trade desk-like, but we are migrating very quickly towards being a supplier to trading desks, not being a trading desk.
And those trading desks are in your premises. Those have pushed out into the operating agencies, the trading desk function, and that you are really an audience-based media company.
Yeah, and I think to your point, eventually all media will be traded this way. So if Zaxxas is occupying the space of programmatic buying experts, then one of two things would happen. Either we would take over the agencies, which is clearly not going to happen, or we would go away, which I'm not going to let happen. So we're pushing towards the supply side, and the way we do that is through products.
Okay, and then one more distinction, and I know you're chomping at the bit. Arun includes linear TV, right? If it's not programmatic, you're not interested, right? You don't, the wider definition of Arun, where he's dealing with workflow, right? That is not Zaxxas. That happens somewhere else, maybe in Group M or something else. So that's an important distinction.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Give it to us, but then let's talk about where Acumen sits in all this. And I kind of see these two guys as opposite ends of the ring here, and you guys in the middle. So
I think we might be talking about the same thing, just from slightly different perspectives. But I think what we agree about is all media is going to get bought programmatically, and programmatic is not a channel. It's not a separate kind of media, and it's the wrong distinction to be looking at it with. And so when you run a huge network, and OMG is 18,000 employees worldwide, and you say the way that we buy and trade media is going to be transformed by technology, if you're sitting there thinking, and the way that that's going to happen is, I'm going to do all of it, you're crazy. So the model has to be, at some point, how do we make 18,000 people more programmatic, and thus our agency more programmatic, rather than the other way around? The trading desk served a really, really useful function, I think, for all the holding companies. It allowed us to stand up this separate entity that we could bring new kinds of people, new kinds of skill sets, different kinds of investment models, put $25 million into development that's very, very hard to do in a professional services organization, all of those kind of things. And if you look around this room here, there's a bunch of people here who have been working on programmatic for 15 years, it seems like, and it's kind of arrived. And we're at the point now where the challenge is completely different. It's not how do we get these skills into the agency, how do we get technology into the agency, it's how do we democratize it now across the whole agency. And that's a tipping point, I think, for everybody here in the room.